Right, good morning. First one thing about standard part. LKS 1, preparation and presentation of financial statement. LKS 2, inventory. LKS 7, cash flow statement. LKS 8, accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates as well as errors. LKS 10, events after the reporting period. LKS 16, property, plant and equipment. LKS 37, provision, contingent liability and contingent assets. As well as SLFRS 15, revenue from contract with customers. And SLFRS 16, leasing. Those are the standard we have discussed on the level. As well as accounting concepts, going concern, money measurement, accrual, matching concepts, substance or form, materiality concepts, business entity concepts, disclosure concepts. Those are the concepts we have discussed on the level. Accounting concepts. Then think about legal requirements. As a legal requirement, we have discussed EPF and ATF adjustment and value added tax adjustment, income tax adjustment, as well as Company Act 2007 Company Act, as well as 1890 Partnership Act. Those are the legal requirements we have discussed on the level. Definitely there is value added tax, income tax, EPF and ATF, separate act available. Legal requirements. Think about environmental factors we have to consider. Legal environments, social and cultural environments, economic and political environments, technological environments, and technical as well as professional environments. When business going to do their business activities, we have to consider environmental factors also. Right? And ratios also, think about ratios. Profitability ratios, gross profit ratio equal gross profit divided by sales into 100. Net profit ratio, net profit divided by sales into 100. Net profit means profit after tax, profit for the year. Return on asset ratio, profit for the year plus interest divided by total assets. Profit for the year means profit after tax plus interest divided by total assets into 100, return on asset ratio. As well as return on equity ratio, profit for the year divided by equity into 100. Those are the profitability ratios. And liquidity ratios, current ratio and quick ratio. Current assets divided by current liability, that is a current ratio. And quick asset divided by current liability, that is a quick ratio. Therefore, difference between current assets and quick assets. In the quick asset also current assets, but excluding inventory as well as prepaid expense. Inventory and prepaid expense is not included in the quick assets. Quick asset also current assets, but excluding inventory as well as prepaid expense. Then think about efficiency ratios, inventory turnover ratio as well as inventory obtained period, and debtor turnover ratio, debt collection period. Inventory turnover ratio equal cost of sales divided by average stock. And inventory obtained period, there are two equations, 365 days divided by inventory turnover ratio, or 365, that's the dates, into average stock divided by cost of sales. Therefore, think how to calculate stock turnover ratio as well as stock obtained period. And think about debtor turnover ratio as well as debt collection period. Debtor turnover ratio equal credit sales divided by average debtor turnover ratio. And debt collection period also two equation can be applied. 365 days divided by debtor turnover ratio, or 365 days into average debtor divided by credit sales. Efficiency ratios. Next one, think about leverage ratio. Leverage means ability to settle long-term liability. We are going to measure. There are three equations: debt ratio, debt equity ratio, as well as interest cover ratio. Debt capital means long-term loan and non-current liability. Debt capital included non-current liability. Example, long-term loan as well as debentures, part of debt capital. Equity capital mean ordinary shares and reserves. Total capital mean debt capital plus equity capital. Debt capital can non-current liability. Example, long-term loan as well as debentures. Think how to calculate debt ratio. Debt capital divided by total capital into 100. And debt equity ratio, debt capital divided by equity capital. Interest cover ratio, profit before tax plus interest divided by interest expense. Interest cover ratio. There are three ratios should be calculated to measure the leverage. Leverage means ability to settle long-term liabilities. Ability to settle long-term liability. Next one, think about investors ratio. There are two ratios: earning per share as well as dividend per share. Earning per share, how to calculate? Profit for the year divided by number of shares. Number of share issue. Profit for the year divided by number of share issue. And dividend per share, interim dividends paid divided by number of shares. And you have to know how to calculate ratios as well as what is effect as a result of each and every transaction. Example, think about loan obtained. There's loan obtained, what is effect for debt equity ratio. And there's cash paid for creditors. There's what is effect for current ratio. And there's rupees 50,000 worth of goods was sold for 80,000. There's what is effect for current ratio. And right issue, there's debt equity ratio. Right issue, there's earning per share. Like that you have to know. There's MCQ paper like that question. What is effect each and every ratios as a result of transaction? Very important. Right. In the paper, there are 6 questions available second paper. You have to answer 5 including 1 and 2. Therefore, question number 1 and 2 compulsory. Question number 1 definitely company sum. Therefore, you have to know with adjustment how to prepare company sum for publication purpose, not for management purpose. Therefore, definitely available EPF and ATF adjustment, leasing adjustment, property, plant and equipment related adjustment, depreciation, disposal, revaluation, like that. Inventory adjustment definitely available. And bad debts and doubtful debts available definitely. Income tax adjustment available. As well as LKS 37 they ask, LKS 10 they ask, standard they ask, as well as revenue, recognition, contract with customers, leasing adjustment, as well as LKS 37 warranty. Sometimes they ask compensation part. Therefore, think with adjustment how to prepare company sum. Even හැම වෙලාවෙම හිතන්න. එතකොට මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා තේරෙනවා. කම්පැනි ගානක ලීසින් ඇඩ්ජස්ට්මන්ට් එක ආවොත්, EPF ආවොත්, ඉන්වෙන්ටරි ආවොත්, ට්‍රයල් බැලන්ස් එකේ ක්ලෝසින් ස්ටොක් දුන්නොත්, ට්‍රයල් බැලන්ස් එකේ ඕපන් ස්ටොක් දුන්නොත්, then property plant equipment depreciation record කරලාද නැද්ද? And if it has given EPF and ATF, net salary the gross salary ද? අන්නේවා හිතන්න නිතර. මෙහෙම ආවොත් මොකද කරන්නේ? මෙහෙම ආවොත් මොකද කරන්නේ? ඒතර තමයි ස්පීඩ් එක හැදෙන්න බලන්න. Right? Therefore, question number 1 compulsory relevant for company. As well as question number 2 relevant for management account parts. It is included overhead lesson. Overheads and last paper 28 marks. the overhead part. Compulsory allocation, apportionment, reapportionment, absorption ratio. ඒවා හදනකොට past papers එක දිගට හදන්න. එතකොට idea එක නා මොකද්ද කරන්න මේ පාර එන්නේ කියලා. එක දිගට past papers හදනකොට එක lesson එක එක දිගට හදන්න. ඒතර අපිට තේරෙනවා මොකක්ද මේ පාඩමේ වෙන්නේ. මොනවද අහන්නේ මේ පාර මොකක්ද දෙන්නේ කොහොමද. Right. Therefore, question number second one, relevant for management account part, 40 marks. And it is include definitely overhead lesson. And sometime it has given stock level part. Sometime it has given stock ledger. Sometime it has given pay sheets also. And management account, there are 4 lessons relevant for management accounts. Lesson 13, 14, 15, 16. Therefore, lesson question number 2 included relevant for management account parts. And question number third one, definitely we can see accounting equation. Last year paper, last 2 years, 40 marks. And ගොඩක් ළමයි accounting equation බලන්නේ දන්නවා කියලා හිතාගෙන ඉන්න නිසා. හදන්නේව අනිවාර්යෙන් 40 marks. 40 marks you have to know how to record information, how to prepare income statement, as well as how to prepare statement of financial position. Right. Think about this part from the beginning. Relevant for LKS 10, පොඩ්ඩක් මතක් කරගන්න standards. LKS 10 events after the reporting period. You have to know there are 3 things. First one, think about time period. Time period you have to know as events after the reporting period. Our accounting period end of the year 31st March 21. This is called accounting period. Accounting period, we have to provide information annually. Therefore, this is called accounting period. This is accounting period. But this one, events after the reporting period. After 31st March 21. Before signed by the director. This is the time period you have to consider as after the reporting period. After the reporting period. After end of the reporting period. Between end of the reporting period and date when the financial statements are authorized for issue. This is the time period you have to consider. Our accounting period based on periodicity concepts for the year end 31st March 21. It started 1st April 2020. Then events after the reporting period. Think about all the company. Their financial statement, preparation and presentation of financial statement. Its responsibility should be taken by the director of the business. Directors la thamai responsibility ganna. Therefore, directors should sign on the financial statement as a true and fair. That is the time period we have to consider as after the reporting period. ඒ කියන්නේ හැම කම්පැනියක්ම financial statement company register එකට යවන්න ඕන මාස 6ක් ඇතුළත. reporting period ඉවරලා මාස 6ක් ඇතුළත යවන්න ඕන. ඒ කියන්නේ 30th September වෙනකන් කාලෙ දීලා තියෙන්නේ. ඊට කලින් කවදා හරි director sign කරන්න ඕන financial statement වල. company register එකට යවන්න කලින්. අන්නේ director sign කරන දවස් තමයි බලන්න. Reason, directors are the person who take responsibility for preparation and presentation of financial statement. They are MCQ paper. තාම අහලා නැහැ. They ask who are the responsible person for preparation and presentation of financial statement of the company. What's the answer? Directors. Therefore, directors should sign on the financial statement before 30th September. ඒ කියන්නේ 31st March 20 reporting period එක ඉවර වෙලා මාස 6ක් යන්න කලින් කවදා හරි දවසක company register එකට යවන්න ඕන. අන්න ඊට කලින් sign කරන්න ඕන director. That is the time period we have to consider as after the reporting period. Director sign කරන දවස වෙනකම් බලන්න අපි. Reporting period එකේ පහුව දවස් ඉඳලා. Then those events, not transaction, only events. Think about events and transaction. Therefore, those events can be divided by 2 parts. Adjusting events as well as non-adjusting events. ඒ කියන්නේ සමහර දේවල් වෙලා තියෙන reporting period එකෙන් පස්සේ. Adjust කරනවා මෙන්න මේ අවුරුද්දේ ගාන හදනකොට. When we are going to prepare financial statement for the year end 31st March 21, Some events occur after the reporting period, but we have to adjust. වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මෙහෙ. නමුත් මේ අවුරුද්දේ ගාන හදනකොට adjust කරනවා. Those are the adjusting events. Definition: those that are provide evidence of the condition that existed at the end of the reporting period. Those are the definition of adjusting events. Again, 31st March වලට වෙයි කියලා හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන් දෙයක් වෙලා තිබුණොත්, example, debtors available 31st March 21 became a bankrupt. අපි දන්නවා provision for doubtful debts එකක් කරන්නේ debtors ලගෙන් සල්ලි යම්ෙන් නැති වෙයි කියලා හිතලා. It is confirmed those that are provide evidence of the condition as that existed at the end of the reporting period. Adjusting events: debtor became a bankrupt. As well as inventory recognition, NRV lower than the cost value. Inventory recognition, NRV lower than the cost value. And think about dismissed employee has filed a legal case against the company demanding compensation before 31st March 21. Its decision has been delivered. Decision of the court case has been delivered before signed by the director. But case has been filed before 31st March 21. Case එක file කරලා තියෙනවනේ මීට කලින්. But decision has been delivered before signed by the director. Those are also adjusting events. And transfer to the general reserves, adjusting events. එක අපිට කෙලින්ම හිතා ගන්න බෑ නම් මෙහෙමයි බලන්න ඕනේ. 31st March වලට එහෙම දෙයක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් දෙයක්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන් දෙයක් වෙලා තිබුණොත් අන්න අපි adjust කරනවා. But some events cannot be adjusted. This is the definition: those that are provide evidence of the condition. So those that are indicative of condition that arise after the reporting period. ඒ කියන්නේ 31st March වල වෙයි කියලා හිතා ගන්න බෑ අපිට. නමුත් වෙලා ඇත්තට. Example: due to flood or fire damage to the assets. දැන් අපිට flood or fire. දැන් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් ලබන සතියේ ගන්න වතුරක් ඇවිල්ලා බිස්නස් එක විනාශ වෙයි කියලා අපිට හිතන්න බෑනේ අද. නමුත් එහෙම දෙයක් වුණා. Due to flood or fire damage to the assets, non-adjusted. And decline in the market value of investment, non-adjusted. Government has been decided to acquire part of land for construction road or highway, non-adjusted. As well as it has given clearly proposed dividends for ordinary shares, non-adjusted. එහෙම අපිට කෙලින්ම හිතා ගන්න බැයි නම් 31st March වලට වෙයි කියලා හිතා ගන්න බැරි දෙයක් වුණොත්, those are the non-adjusting events. Therefore, think about definition: those that are provide evidence of the condition that existed at the end of the reporting period, those are the adjusting events. And those that are indicative of condition that arise after the reporting period. There's MCQ paper, true and false. Very important this part. Think about time period. Think about reporting period. LKS then. Standard very important. Right now, think about question number 1. From the beginning, I'm going to discuss MCQ part. Question number first one, think about. Question number 1. It has given, I have discussed like this example last day also. In this one, what would be the answer? It has given someone comments business on 1st April 2021 to manufacture face masks, and it is expected manufactured 60,000 face masks during the year end 31st March 22. The budgeted manufacturing overheads for this year 1.2 million. For this year 1.2 million. But given following actual cost were incurred during the month of April 2021. Given only 1 month information. And given fabric cost per unit 80 and direct processing cost per unit 50, manufacturing overhead it has given 1 million, so 100,000, only 1 month periods. Think about production manufacturing overhead it has given for the year 1.2 million. 1.2 million divided by 12 equal 100,000. This is the budgeted manufacturing overhead for the year, but those information relevant for only 1 month period. Therefore, manufacturing overhead is given only 1 month period, 100,000. It is equal 1.2 million divided by 12. And given non-manufacturing overhead also, non-manufacturing overhead should be included in income statement. During the month of April, 5,000 units were manufactured and 4,000 units were sold for 254 units. Think what manufacturing quantity equal 5,000, but sales quantity equal 4,000. Therefore, difference value inventory quantity. The profit for the month of April 2021 and cost of finished goods inventory as 30th April 2021. There's profit as well as there's inventory value. Cost of inventory. Profit, think about sales minus cost of sales. Gross profit can be calculated. Then from that value deduct non-production overhead also. Non-production overhead also should be deducted. At first one, try to calculate cost per unit. Production cost per unit. Production cost. When we are going to calculate cost of inventory as well as cost of sales, you have to consider only production cost. Non-production cost should be included in income statement. Therefore, fabric, it has given per unit value. Fabric per unit value equal 80, and direct processing cost also given. From the beginning, try to calculate production cost per unit. Production cost per unit should be calculated from the beginning. And manufacturing overhead also given 100,000. Total value is given, manufacturing overheads 100,000. It has given total value, but production quantity equal 5,000 divided by 5,000 can be calculated manufacturing overhead per unit. Manufacturing overhead per unit equal 20. Therefore, production cost per unit can be calculated. Production cost per unit equal 150. This is production cost per unit. Production cost per unit. Production cost per unit equal 150. This is a production cost per unit. Now they ask, first one they ask profit. How to calculate profit? And given selling price, cost of sales can be calculated. Then think about gross profit and deduct non-production overhead also. First one they ask profit. Sales it has given. Sales minus cost of sales equal gross profit. Therefore, selling price it has given 250. This is selling price, and sales quantity it has given 4,000. Therefore, sales value can be calculated. 250 into 4,000, 1 million sales. And deduct cost of sales. Deduct cost of sales. Cost of sales can be calculated. Production cost per unit equal 150 and sales quantity equal 4,000. Therefore, 150 into 4,000, 600,000. Therefore, this is the cost of sales. Then sales minus cost of sales, gross profit can be calculated. Gross profit. Therefore, gross profit equal sales minus cost of sales 400,000. Then deduct non-production overhead also. There's net profit. Non-production overhead also deduct. Net profit can be calculated. Therefore, given non-production overheads, non-manufacturing overhead equal 180,000. Think how to calculate net profit. Non-production overhead it has given 180,000 deduct. Therefore, net profit equal 220,000. This is called net profit. Think from the beginning, try to calculate cost of production cost per units. Therefore, net profit equal to 220,000. And there's cost of inventory also. Think how to calculate inventory value. There's cost of inventory. And sale production quantity equal to 5,000, but sales quantity is given 4,000. Therefore, inventory quantity equal 1,000. And production cost per unit equal 150. Think what we have to calculate inventory and cost of sales based on production cost. Therefore, inventory quantity equal 1,000. There's value. Therefore, inventory value equal quantity 1,000 and cost per unit equal 150. Therefore, inventory value can be calculated. Inventory value equal 150,000. Therefore, this is inventory value. Think about requirements. There's profit as well as inventory value. Therefore, question number first one answer is 5. Question number first one answer 5. MCQ very important. Practice එකෙන් තමයි resource එක හැදෙන්නේ. පුළුවන් තරම් ගණන් හදන්න. මේවා හදන ගමන් හිතන්න මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා. Right, question number second one. Like this example also I have discussed last day. Think what would be the answer? Relevant for not for profit making organization. They ask think about requirements. Information is given for the year end 31st March 21. They ask policy of the sport club to recognize only utilized amounts of donation as income for the year. If it has given a special donation, total value cannot be considered as income. Only utilized amounts should be considered as income. And it has given the increase in accumulated fund balance sport club as at 31st March 21 due to above items. Think effect for accumulated fund, effect surplus. Surplus effect for accumulated fund. Therefore, try to calculate surplus by using those information. Income minus expense surplus can be calculated. Therefore, take the income and from that value deduct expense. Income minus expense then can be calculated surplus. Take the income and deduct expenses. They are surplus. Surplus means profit. Income minus expense, it can be calculated. Prepare the statement for that. Effect for accumulated fund surplus. Therefore, surplus can be calculated. Income minus expense. Take the income as well as deduct expenses. Question number second one. Income minus expense can be calculated surplus. Surplus effect for accumulated fund. Right, it has given subscription income recognized for the year. That is income. Subscription income recognized for the year 900,000 income. Subscription income recognized for the year value equal 900,000. Next one, it has given previous year subscription in arrears written off during the year. That is a subscription written off. Subscription written off is expense. 8,000 should be deduct and expense. Subscription written off expense value equal 8,000. We are going to calculate surplus. There's effect for accumulated fund. Normally, accumulated fund affect surplus or deficits. Then think about third one, 11.4 special donation. Think about normal donation and special donation. Normal donation can be considered as income at once, but special donation, total value cannot be considered at once. Think given donation received for purchase sport equipment. Special donation. Donation received for what? Purchase sport equipment. Rupees 800,000, of which 300,000 was used to purchase sport equipment on 31st March 21. Think donation received for purchase sport equipment. Anne sport equipment purchase karana turu. Donation income එකක් විතර ගන්න බෑ. Sport equipment purchase කරලා තිබුණොත් විතරයි ඊට අදාළ ප්‍රමාණ income විදිහට යන්නේ. It is given for the year end 31st March 21. Sport equipment purchase 300,000. Therefore, total 800,000 cannot be considered as income. As income, you have to consider only 300,000 as a donation. And given additional information also, utilized amount should be considered as income. Policy of the sport club is to recognize only the utilized amounts of donation as income. As income, total 800,000 cannot be considered. Utilized only 300,000. Donation අපිට හම්බෙලා තියෙන sport equipment purchase කරන්න. Therefore, during the current period, sport equipment purchase only for 300,000. And next one, very important. Balance amount received during the year from hiring playground. Playground එක hire කරනවා කියන එක අපිට income එකක්. But balance part received during the year hiring the playgrounds value equal to 1,000. ඔන්න මේ අවුරුද්දේ හම්බෙලා balance part එක අපේ playground එක hire එකට දීලා. එහෙනම් ඒ හම්බෙන ගාන income එකක් අපිට. But balance amount received during the current period and given advance of 300,000 was received on 30th March 2020. This one 2021, there is a mistake here. An advance of 300,000 was received on 30th March 2021 in this respect. Calling up Ambela 300,000. That is the income received in advance. Income received in advance, previous year liability, but this year income. Balance part received 2,1,000. Therefore, as a ground higher income, as hiring the income, we have to consider total value. Higher කරලා තියෙන බාන ඉස්සලා advance එක කරලා තියෙන ගිය අවුරුද්දේ. That is a higher income received in advance previous year liability, but it became this year income. Therefore, as a higher income, we have to consider total value. Calling up it hambila 300,000 as well as balance part received during the current period. Therefore, total value equal 500,000. This is value should be considered as income. Very important this example. And think about special donation. බලන්න මේ part එක දානවා මේ පාර not profit organization ගානට. මෙන්න මේක දානවා special donation. This is the 2020 MCQ paper. Only numbers change. දැන් මේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ මේ පාර ලෑස්ති වෙලා එන්න. අපි දෙනවා second paper එකේ. Very important, donation received for purchase sport equipment. It has given not for profit making organization, second paper this year. This is a 2020 MCQ paper. Therefore, try to recognize how to record special donation. Total value cannot be considered as income. As income should be considered on utilized amounts and balance 500,000 when we are going to prepare financial position under accumulated fund separately as a donation for purchase sport equipment we have disclosed. Special donation. So think about utilized amount should be considered as income, balance parts. ඔන්න හොඳට බලන්න මේ part එක. Balance part should be included under accumulated fund separately 500,000. But there's The increase in accumulated fund. Increase in accumulated fund. Effect for accumulated fund surplus or deficits. As well as this one also very important. Think about ground higher income is a income, but it has given ground higher income received in advance. Advance එකක් හම්බෙලා තියෙන ගිය අවුරුද්දේ. And advance of 300,000 was received 30th March 2021. That is a liability last year, but it became this year income. ගිය පාර තමයි ගිය අවුරුද්ද තමයි advance එක ගෙවලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක මේ අවුරුද්දේ income එකක්. ගිය අවුරුද්දේ liability එකක්. Therefore, take total income minus total expense, surplus can be calculated. Therefore, total income equal, here total value 1.7 million. And as expense we have to consider only, it has given subscription written off 8,000 within brackets. Then surplus can be calculated. Therefore, 80,000 within brackets. 80,000 within brackets. Therefore, take the answer. Surplus equal 1,620,000. Therefore, this is a surplus. Therefore, question number second one answer 2. මේවත් එක හිතන්න දැන් මේකෙන් second paper එකේ එනේවත් අපිට හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන් බලන්න. MCQ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම හදන්න. දැන් මේ ගණන් වලින් තව දේවල් අපිට ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන් බලන්න. මෙහෙම දෙයක් આવොත් මොකද කරන්නේ? මෙහෙම දෙයක් આવොත් මොකද කරන්නේ? ඒ කියන්නේ ගණන් හදනකොට අපිට මතක් වෙනවා theory part නැවත නැවත. Practice එක තමයි research එක හැදෙන්නේ දැන්. Right, question number third one. Like this example I have discussed last day also. But think about requirements. It has given Jagat PLC purchase machine 8 million. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ අඩුම ගානේ මේ paper එක කියවලා හරි එන්නේ class එකට කලින්. මොකද මම මේක දානවා අනිවාර්යෙන් 5ට කලින් හැමදාම. Jagat PLC purchase machine for 8 million on 1st April 2018. And it estimates useful lifetime and residual value 8 years and 1.6 million respectively. And given the useful lifetime and residual value of the assets were re-estimated on 1st April 2020. According to new estimates, the remaining useful lifetime and residual value, it has given 4 years and 1 million. Estimate change beginning of the year. Estimate change beginning of the year. Therefore, it is relevant for depreciation for the year calculation. But asset purchase before 2 years. Our accounting period end of the year 31st March 21. Now think about requirements. What is the accumulated depreciation of the machine as at 31st March 21? Now there's accumulated depreciation as at 31st March 21. Think estimate change before. Estimate change it has given 1st April 2020. Beginning of the year. But asset purchase before 2 years. This is the purchase date. Therefore, before changes in account estimates, 2 years use. First one, try to calculate annual depreciation before changes. Accounting estimates, annual depreciation before changes in account estimates. Before changes in accounting estimates. Before changes in account estimates, annual depreciation, how to calculate? Cost value equal 8 million, residual value is given 1.6 million, divided by useful lifetime. Lifetime it has given 8 years. Cost minus residual value divided by useful lifetime equal annual depreciation before changes in accounting estimates. Think value. calculator can be used. Therefore, annual depreciation equal before changes in account estimates rupees 800,000. Then think about our accounting period started 1st April 20 up to beginning of the year, assets used already 2 years. Therefore, can be calculated accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation. Annual depreciation equal 800,000 into 2 years. Therefore, 1.6 million. This is the accumulated depreciation up to beginning of the year. Now think estimate change during the accounting period. If it has given estimate change, this is the way you have to calculate annual depreciation. On මේ equation එක ලියන්න paper එකේ අනිවාර්යම වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ estimate කියනවා change වෙනවා. අපිට හරියටම estimate කරන්න බෑ. Definitely they ask in the paper. You have to know if there is estimate change, how to adjust. This is the way you have to calculate depreciation.